This is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you. I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can. What do you guys want to talk about? And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, if you're some man, acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and I have a very, off-the-wall kind of episode today I'm feeling. Is there a pay-per-view coming up? Yeah, but not right now. So we're going to just do something a little different. Some news has hit, and I had a window, and I was thinking, let's carpe diem. Let's seize the moment. Let's fill this little window I have, and let's just talk. But the problem is with doing a podcast on the whim, when you have multiple listeners and multiple people who are on the show and co-host, we all live our lives. We all do things. We're all quite busy, so it's hard to get somebody on here. But there was one man who answered the call. Let's bring him out.
Hey, Carlos, I'm here. I'm from Revisiting The Mania, and we're here to talk some news that Wayne had.
Man. Yeah, dude. Man. Welcome back.
I didn't hear any music.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, maybe.
I'm used to hearing music, so I was just trying to go off the seat of my pants of when to chime in.
Oh, okay. That's weird that you weren't able to hear it. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming back. I mean, answer the call, answer the tag in, and nobody else can make the card. I'm glad you were able to come in and chat with me for a while. I didn't want to chat by myself. I mean, I've done an episode by myself, and it was rough.
You get institutionalized for doing that, too.
Yeah, I did one episode, and I was like, I hope a lot of people don't download this one, because then they might think I'm a little crazy. It is kind of hard to ping-pong ideas when you're trying to do an episode by yourself. But, it was a news dump episode. I think it was pretty good. But this one, we got a few things in the news. You know what? I'm going to play the news bumper, and I feel like you should be able to hear it. I just don't understand. And you know what? I don't even have the news bumper even prepped. You know what? Screw it. I don't even have it in here. We're not even prepping it. Maybe I have... Here, I got one.
What do you guys want to talk about?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, over the weekend, Logan Paul got married. He got married to Nina Agdal. I think that's how you pronounce it. They officially tied the knot on August 15th in Lake Como, Italy. That's awesome. So now Logan Paul is a married man. Good for him. Also, Naomi...
Off the market, ladies.
Yeah, Logan Paul off the market. Naomi will address the state of the women's world title on Monday. We kind of talked about this last episode of what she could possibly be out for, whether it was an injury or she was pregnant. But I do have the second part of that podcast downloaded, but I haven't gotten around to listening to it yet. Have you listened to it all? Yeah, I haven't listened to the second half of that. Have you at all?
Oh no.
Nice.
No, I don't. I tried listening to the first one, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't get through this.
Yeah, it's like
I can. It's the rapport that she has with her friend.
Yeah,
And like the back and forth, it just seems so forced and fake to me.
yeah.
So I'm like, I can't watch this.
So I guess
Like they
with
probably
Stephanie,
are good friends, but
Yeah.
no.
I guess with Stephanie, it's kind of like a pick and choose. What episode? Because I mean, damn, that's rough, man. Like you're having an interview with like the boss's wife, and it's like you kind of don't want to.
Mhm.
I feel like you're walking on eggshells on a podcast like that. I mean, I would. I say the wrong thing, like shit. Here we go. But yeah. I mean, like I said, last episode we were discussing what she could be out for. Still, nobody knows, but she's gonna let us know. It's Sunday now, so tomorrow on Raw we'll find out. Hopefully, worst case scenario, an injury. Also, like, she could be pregnant, and that'd be great. It just sucks that it's like she wanted one more run at the top, and it just happens to happen when she's at the top, if that is the case. So,
Yeah, it's unfortunate because when she first won her world title, she got hurt.
mm-hmm.
So they made her vacate it, and then she won it back again. I think it was WrestleMania 34 or 33, whichever one, which was in Orlando.
Right.
And that's when she won it back again. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What else I got here? Backstage news on Liv Morgan's return date. WWE fans to see Liv Morgan back in action may have to wait a little longer. The former Women's World Champion has been out of competition since suffering a dislocated shoulder back in June. The injury that abruptly halted her momentum alongside Raquel Rodriguez in the tag division. While Raquel has occasionally dropped hints about Liv's comeback, those teasers appear to be premature. PW Insider reports that Morgan underwent a medical checkup this week and to assess her progress, sparkling speculation that she might appear backstage at Raw. That didn't happen, and sources inside WWE suggest that her return isn't expected until the opening months of 2026. So, Royal Rumble, huge pop.
yeah, it's definitely gonna have to come there. Probably depending on how far we get along in this. Roxy and Raquel either like the friendship blossoms, or I think either Dre or someone had pointed out that Raquel was wearing a Dirty Dom shirt recently in one of the Monday Night Raws. So are we being kind of led astray, thinking that it's gonna be Roxy that breaks them up, and it's gonna be that Raquel is the one that was trying to make the moves on Dirty Dom while she was away?
Yeah, I am curious, man. Like this could be a long storyline dragged out. Like, but they could keep us interested. My question to you is, do you think Roxy will? Do you think she'll stay in Judgment Day long enough that we kind of like her in Judgment Day? We kind of become the fan, and when she comes back with Liv, it's going to be a conflict more for us than it will be for Dom with her popularity. Do you think her popularity could get that high being in Judgment Day?
Well, it just all depends on how they're gonna do it. Right now, Judgment Day is going like on 4 years, 3 years, something like that, is being together.
Oh yeah,
They're one of those
good question. I should look that up.
one of the longest stables that's not the New Day type of thing.
Right.
And the way that this is reminding me and how they're able to plug and play people is reminding me of Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So if they can go ahead and keep adding people and then taking them out and recycling. So as far as the question you asked, I don't see how Roxy could turn good or turn babyface in the next 4.5 months. She has to stay. If she's going to stay with Judgment Day, she has to stay heelish. And since everyone's wanting to get a good pop or just get a big push behind Liv as she comes back, she'll have to get the babyface pop. So she'll have to stay heel. So we have to find out who, if it's like a misdirection, like I mentioned, like maybe it's not Roxanne, like how we had the misdirection with Liv and Raquel being the one that attacked Jay, but it was in actuality Naomi.
Right.
So we could probably get a misdirection like that where all the signs have been pointing to Roxanne and it was Raquel the whole time type of thing. But when Liv comes back, it's going to be as a face. It cannot be as a heel.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, I agree as a face. I mean, the crowd is going to pop and lose their shit at the Rumble. I mean, I could see it now. Like, maybe, those two are, Roxanne and Raquel are in the ring, maybe cleaning house for a little bit. It doesn't even have to be in the beginning. It could be in somewhere in the middle. Just cleaning house, and all of a sudden Liv's, fucking number comes, and it's like, Raquel's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, just,
nice.
It's very interesting. The story will still be there. It's a slow burn, but I'm still intrigued. Moving on.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, do you remember at Crown Jewel in 2024 when we got introduced to the Crown Jewel titles?
Yeah, I was wondering what's happened with those because someone had brought it up, I believe, in the Discord about the, what happened to the Crown Jewel titles.
Yeah,
and
so like
they had to defend them, and now going to Perth, are they bringing the titles with them down there to Australia, or are they still staying in Saudi Arabia?
Well, great update, great question. I love it, and I'm gonna tell you right now. The update is no. We will never see those titles again. They said that they're just not doing it. This is, typical Crown Jewel like fashion. Like we had Braun Strowman win like this huge Rumble there, won a title, never saw it again. Yeah, it's something that's canon there, and I expect when we do go, Liv Morgan's not going to be there, so you'll have Cody, but Cody's not going to bring up that title, and he's the WWE champion. I don't know. I'm glad. I just don't think we should do them ever again. I mean, in my opinion, I just think they're silly to begin with.
They look nice.
Don't get me wrong.
Bigger than the WWE
Huge.
ones, but yeah. I mean, if they weren't even allowed to leave the country with them, they stayed in that forever WWE Saudi Arabia museum that they have over there.
Yeah.
That we can't get anywhere else. It doesn't travel.
I wouldn't mind a mention of them. Like they showed them in like a display case and like, oh, do you guys remember in 2024 when so and so won these titles? Like that'd be cool. You don't have to talk about it being defended or something. It's just something that was won that year. Like a trophy that was for that year, and it just happens to be in the form of a belt. And like you said, dude, like they're huge. Like spare no expense. Like the Saudi prince was like, hey, we will make ours bigger, a lot more gold. We have plenty of it. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have another tournament of some kind, and another belt or another trophy of some kind. We just did what King and Queen of the Ring there.
Yeah,
So-
but we didn't even get any crowns. Like at least last year with Nia, she wore a crown.
I think Jade got a
Or a
crown
little bit.
while she was there. I think they got crowns while they were there, but I don't recall them like wearing them and sticking to the gimmick. Which kind of sucks because like a lot of wrestlers would stick to the gimmick. Sheamus, Wade Barrett, just a lot of wrestlers in the past.
Booker,
they,
obviously.
Yeah, King Booker, greatest King of the Ring winner probably, who really stuck to the gimmick.
Right.
And I always thought that was kind of cool. Like and Baron Corbin did it. I'm just thinking of more and more as I'm here thinking about it. It's just a gimmick that they just don't bring back anymore. This year it just seemed like they wore it for a little bit at the end, and then that was it. They never brought it out ever again. But then again, I guess it's also like if you won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, you're not going to bring out that big ass trophy every week, are you?
Right.
But
They should.
they should.
Who was walking around with it? Was it Cesaro that was the one that was always walking around with it, or was it Braun when he won it?
I think it was Cesaro. It might have been Cesaro. Yeah, every time somebody won that Battle Royal trophy, man, it didn't catapult anybody anywhere. I guess the last good champion we had from that is probably Jey Uso. You could say maybe he's the only one who kind of benefited from that because it kind of catapulted him further. That was a big win for him in his singles career. For the first big win, I guess you could say, before he started winning the IC title.
Right.
How did we get here? I got this today. Possible spoiler on the stipulation for Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. As we know, we're going to be seeing them versus each other on September 20th. This is planned the planned main event for September 20th pay-per-view, going head-to-head with AEW's All Out, is Brock Lesnar versus Cena, which is why Brock is not booked for Paris, because they wanted him as a method to counter-program AEW. It's been updated that Lesnar and Cena will be expected to be a last man standing match. Dun dun dun. You don't sound so thrilled.
I guess. No, I'm not. I'm upset because I didn't get a chance to talk to this with but I did make my voice heard in the Discord. But
yeah, let's talk about it.
We have John Cena basically turn face like maybe in 24, 48 hours before SummerSlam Night 2, right?
Right.
He comes out with the bright shirt. He comes out, he runs to the ring. So we have face Cena back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he loses to Cody after a half-hour match. So he loses to Cody, passing of the torch. Yes, I get it. I understand it. But the whole point that makes me mad is the only way Cena won 17 is because he was a heel, quote-unquote, and he sold his soul, quote-unquote, to The Rock.
Right.
He loses it the first minute he becomes a face. And instead of having, like, a title, and yes, this is me being a hypocrite because I was upset that Jay dropped the title to Gunther just so Goldberg can have it. But if you're going to bring back Brock Lesnar and he's going to attack John Cena, who doesn't even have the belt, what is he attacking him for? Just for losing the belt? Like, we never got any explanation on that. If he was champion, then it would make sense for him to attack him because he wants another shot at the title.
Right.
So, that's my rant there.
I mean, how far back have you seen this feud? I mean, I've seen it since the dawn of time. Since the first match was in
2002, 3, 2002. Yeah, something.
Yeah, like they had a singles match in 2002 on SmackDown. This is back when Ceno's green as goose shit.
The prototype.
Yeah, just about like the very beginning. There's a squash match basically. And then there was a fatal 4-way match with Big Show and Chris Benoit and the two of them on November 13th, 2003. That I really don't count, but I'd say it starts to get interesting. Backlash 2003. John Cena still wasn't on his level because this is John Cena's, I think, first ever pay-per-view match. So it's still not as interesting. And then they face each other again, SmackDown 2004. That ended with Eddie Guerrero hitting Brock Lesnar with a low blow with John Cena's chain and got the pinfall victory. Lie, cheat, and steal. Then we see them again. SmackDown 2003. I think like 2003 is maybe when it started to pick up. And then we fast forward to Night of Champions 2014. John Cena is now on a far higher level. Meeting the level that Brock Lesnar is. And I think that's when that feud really started to get interesting. When Brock comes back to the company, which, by the way, I thought it was kind of a nice homage. When he came back in 2014 and the crowd just popped and what did Brock do? He just went in and just fucking F5'd him, and Cena kind of fell for the same fucking thing again. Yeah. We see
didn't learn.
No, dude, didn't learn. We see them face each other in like 2015 and 20. Yeah, they have a lot of history together. But I think as for one-on-one matches, in singles competitions, Cena has 2 wins and 4 losses against Brock.
Well, like, besides, John Cena wanting this match, there's no reason for this match to happen.
Dude, absolutely right.
Me.
Absolutely
now
right.
You're breaking down, like, the record.
The numbers.
And everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Brock whoops your ass twice, and then you finally get one over him. So it sounds like Brock always wins the feuds, really.
See?
Like he
now
yes. Cena will win some battles, but he never wins the war. I could see them putting him over on this feud though, with Brock. I think it'd be great for his career. But he's got like 11 dates left. Is this the last feud that we're getting out of John Cena's career? Is it going to be Brock? And they sure as fuck could drag it out to 11 dates if they wanted to, with appearances and promos and I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be.
That's why
I said this before, like at the beginning of I think I mentioned this at the very beginning when he announced this tour. Like, okay, let's revisit. I would love to go back and actually listen to that episode. He talked, I said let's revisit some classics, right? And I got my classics, right? Not all of them, but I got what I wanted. I got a Punk, I got an Orton match. I'm good, I got another Cody match. Awesome. I'm done with the classics. Now let's see some fantasy matches before they're gone. Before they're gone, dude. Like don't you want to knock off like some fantasy matches on your card? Like, I mean, come on, give us half that.
It would be nice.
It would have been nice. I'm not saying put over new guys, but it would be nice to see maybe him go toe to toe on the mic with LA Knight. Maybe.
Yeah. Or him having another feud with The Miz.
Yeah, or Carmelo Hayes. Or there's just so much. I know it's like it's hard because there's so much meat on the bone when it comes to WWE, like how vastly large the roster is, and we kind of just want to see this one superstar and mix it up with all these other people. And you're realizing now, like, I think the panic is starting to set in with, like, oh god, like, we got 11 dates left. Like, it's fucking getting down to double digits and soon to single digits, and like, oh my god, it's coming. Like, this is here before we knew it. It feels just like a couple weeks ago that I dropped that episode about the retirement. But yeah, here we are. Like, fast forward several months, and I have no complaints. Like, I think since his retirement tour has started, we've gotten a good spread out viewership of him. Like, I've gotten enough John Cena that I'm not bored with him, and I've gotten enough that I'm not upset that he's not on my TV. Like he's a part timer. He doesn't feel like a part timer. He feels like he's a full time guy again. What are your thoughts on this John Cena retirement tour thus far?
Look, I was pro the heel move, and my earlier rant, I was upset when they turned him face, and he lost the title. And the reason for that is because if he would have beat Cody, he still would have had the title. He could have, another match with Brock, and he wins, right? But then during that time, after this, was September 20 is what we're saying? For the last dates, you still could have had maybe like a version of when John Cena had his U.S. Open title run. You know, when he was like, if you want some, come get some. Whoever wants a shot, come out. Type of thing, right. You know? And then you build that up for a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And then the last match, I think, which would have been good, but we went with the passing of the torch type of thing. I think I would have loved to have seen him face Randy. Randy builds it up one more time, and he wins. Is it be his 16th at that point?
Yes,
or
16th.
Is it his 15th?
No, I think it'll put him right up there, dude. Man.
Yeah, but that's how I would have had it go.
Yeah.
That if we kept the belt on Cena, have him have a little good face run with the title, and then he ends up losing it to Randy. You know, they're friends, and they get to hug at the end when the curtains and TV cameras are off and things like that, and people post it on social media. But I think that would have been a better way to send him out. Like, he loses, but he loses to someone that's still going, that was in his class, or just that's still going around his age.
Yeah, I agree. It's so cool because like there's so many like fantasy bookings. You could say that we really would like for Cena, like how we could picture his career ending. Like, I love the whole like, the United States Open challenge, and just even if he didn't have the title, just like, hey, like I got 11 dates left. Like, who wants one? Who wants it? Come get it. Like,
right.
And it'd be cool. It's like the 10, I don't know, 9 or 8 or 9 out of those days, we just get these random fantasy matches on Raw or SmackDown, or what is he on SmackDown? Yeah, just these fantasy matches.
Yeah, he's on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And then like,
you don't have to have them be barn burners. Like, it's 5-7 minute matches.
Yeah, but like we could say, cross off the list. Like, we could be like, awesome. Like, we got this match. I never thought I'd see this match, but we got it. Like, cool. Cross off the list. And then like, maybe not even Orton. Like if they were still playing the Brock Lesnar. Like, imagine like, he goes, all right, well. He goes, next week is Saturday Night Main Event. He goes, I don't have a feud. He goes, this is my last day. I'm calling who wants it. And then that's when Brock Lesnar music came. Like, holy fuck. We've been just getting these regular Joes or, whatever, fantasy matches. But then we get, like, this fucking shocking return for his last match. I don't know. Again, fantasy booking to its fullest, what we want, but it's not what we're gonna get. Sometimes we get what we get. We get what we want. It's rare. It's very rare. We get the booking that we want. We get very happy. For me this year, I kept kind of predicting that somehow, some way, CM Punk was gonna get fucked by Seth Rollins, and this is the second he won that Money in the Bank briefcase. I was like, I don't know how. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to get there, and Seth is going to screw over Punk. And I was right. And I kind of predicted even before that, because even without the briefcase involved, I was going to say Punk is going to win his title or cost him the world title yet again. But, the fact that that man let him hold on to that world title and feel it, take it in, soak it in, and then cash in on his ass. That's some good fucking wrestling right there.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the meat of the story, or do you have anything else you want to plug in before we get to it?
No, I think we've already beat that and expressed our anger on this whole Cena run.
Yeah, it's. I'm angry, but I'm not. But I'm getting what I'm just happy it's happening. Like I'm just happy we're even getting a retirement tour. I'm happy we're not just getting one retirement match and then he was gone forever. It's gonna be dragged out for a year and almost a year, and I think that's more than what I could have ever have asked for. So I'm enjoying it while I can. Because before you know it, it'll be gone, and then we really can't see him. So, don't get me wrong.
I mean, if you have HBO Max, you could see him.
Yeah,
Peacemaker 2. That's going to start streaming in 4 days as this recording. August 21st.
Dude, let me tell you how I love the first season. I'm so excited for this next season because I just watched Superman for the first time yesterday, and he has a little cameo in Superman.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, like, to think that they're like, oh man, like we're totally seeing John Cena in this new phase of the DCU. Like, he's jumping over. He's one of the very few that we're gonna see from one universe to the next. And that for me also is great because like that secures him a role, a job, a spot on my TV. You know, I couldn't ask for like a better thing for John Cena right now than his foot in the door of a superhero universe, whether it be DC or Marvel. You know, I don't know. I guess I feel that way about most professional wrestlers when they go to Hollywood. Is like I just want to see him succeed. You know, I felt that way about Batista. I was never worried about The Rock, dude. When The Rock went to Hollywood, never worried about this guy. After the Scorpion King, and he started doing movies like Walking Tall and The Rundown, I was like, he's good. The Rock don't need me. He don't need my support. He's good. And look at him now, you know?
It needs your support.
Yeah. God, he's still making Jumanji movies.
Yeah, he needs you to go see that other movie he has coming up. I forgot what it's called.
The Raging Bull?
He's got some dramatic...
Something like that.
No, it's not Raging Bull. Something like that.
Where he plays like a fighter, right?
Bull.
Hold on.
Yeah, he plays that UFC guy.
It's gonna bother me.
You don't even know it's not. You don't even know that it's the Rock.
Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I talking about? The Raging Bull. That's another boxing movie, isn't it, with Robert De Niro? I don't know.
Oh, it is, but it's kind of like that. I think his story is kind of similar.
Yeah.
That.
The Smashing Machine. Yeah, like I said, the Rock. I when I was younger, I was never worried about the Rock in Hollywood. But like when John Cena stuck his foot into Hollywood and Batista, I got a little worried, man. And, you know, I was kind of hoping the best for guys like Randy Orton and like The Miz, but it just kind of didn't take off. You know, no matter how many Marine movies you put out, it just didn't take off. But they still got job security in WWE right now, so
yeah, they can still go. So
yeah, they can still go. They still got paychecks.
Randy's not doing that bad. He has his own. I think he has his own weed shop.
Oh, really?
And one of those type of So he's fine. He's making his money, whether it's in his contract or whatever alternative investment opportunities he has.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's get to the main event here. Big news. Well, actually, I'm gonna bring this up before I do the big news. Did you recall hearing it was probably like last week, I think it happened, that Paramount acquired the U.S. media rights for the UFC in a massive 7-year deal of $7.7 billion. This deal begins in 2026 that will make Paramount Plus the exclusive home for all UFC numbered events and UFC nights in the U.S., ending the UFC's previous pay-per-view model with ESPN. Some events will also be simulcasted to CBS.
Simulcasted.
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny that
Big ones where people might know their names.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of bringing it back to the days of boxing, where boxing would be on network TV, whether it was primarily ABC, I believe, and then NBC before it moved on to HBO and Showtime and things like that.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because they're leaving ESPN, which is where we're heading, you know? And it's kind of funny because they're all under the same umbrella of TKO. It's just kind of funny they're kind of swapping here. Paramount, that's great for Paramount. It's awesome. I have Paramount. There's also times where I've wanted to watch UFC fights, and I was just like, I am not paying that price for a UFC fight by myself.
Was it $80 for the HD or 4K?
Yeah, and it's the same goes with boxing. Like it's so expensive, and I don't like the time frame when it comes to UFC and boxing matches. Like, how late I have to stay up to get any kind of satisfaction. And I'm so buried into WWE. Like, I don't know a lot of these UFC guys. I don't know a lot of these boxers. Like, I'm also just waiting for the main event. Like, that's what I'm here for. And I'll start at like 1 a.m. or some shit. And a lot of them are just recently just been disappointing. Like boxing matches alone. So, like, I guess the last one I watched was like the last Mike Tyson fight. So I think after that, I'm kind of like, you know what? I think I might be done with boxing for a while. But I'd be interested to see some UFC. Like, if I have a friend, Dwayne, who's a listener to the show, Dwayne Coleman. He wants to host a UFC fight soon. I was like, for sure, man, I'll go over and watch. I'm interested. There's always WWE wrestlers there in the crowd. I know Undertaker likes to go.
Well, no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's no choice, but yeah, Taker would always be there, and I think they would get Brock too.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool when you get to see a bunch of WWE wrestlers there, taking interest in the sport itself. Like, they're like us.
They have to buy tickets and go. Oh, they don't have to buy tickets? Those are comped? Well, they have to still walk to the arena. Mm-hmm. Depending, like, if it's in DMGM or Grand in Las Vegas or wherever they're holding it at.
Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to bring up the big news that a lot of people were probably hearing rumors and what's going on, and maybe it's been brought up I'm sure brought up in tons of other news outlets that it had to have crossed your eyes if you're a wrestling fan of some kind. Even if you don't watch, you had to have heard about it within the past, couple days. Yes, there are reports that TNA Wrestling, formerly known as Impact Wrestling, is potentially up for sale, with WWE reportedly holding a first option to buy the company. This arrangement is part of a broader partnership between WWE and TNA, which also includes the rights to first refusal to match any other offers for TNA. This means that WWE can potentially block any sale of TNA to a party that they don't approve of, and also have the opportunity to match any competing offers. There is rumors that former owners of the UFC, Lorenzo Tita, formerly UFC owner, is looking to purchase TNA. Also, AEW, Tony Khan is looking to buy AEW as well. It looks like the arrangement, the strategic goal is this arrangement is reportedly part of WWE's strategy to weaken its main competitor, because AEW is potential or against their main competitor AEW by potentially elevating TNA to the number 2 spot in the wrestling landscape, because their TV rights, their media rights are up, and there's
Right.
discussion of them going possibly to CW, which is where NXT is right now. But that would put them on Wednesday nights, which I believe is AEW Dynamite. Is that what it is on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Is that Dynamite? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, let's get into this. TNA, for a lot of people who don't know, is another wrestling company that started in 2002. It was founded by Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett. It was definitely an alternative to WWE at the time. They were initially using the NWA World Heavyweight title and the tag team titles. TNA gained prominence by offering weekly pay-per-views and later a weekly television show called Impact. And it secured a deal with Spike TV back in the day. I always thought of TNA always the place to go when you got fired from WWE. I never thought of them as competition for WWE. I just thought it was just another outlet, a wrestling outlet. And I would occasionally flip through channels and see TNA, and I'd stick on it for a little bit, and I'd see, this is throughout the years. Hogan was on TNA for a little bit. I would see Scott Steiner. I would see wrestlers like AJ Styles, a young AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. I would see the Hardy Boys on there, Mr. Anderson.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, it's just another wrestling company, and I think, I was surprised. I will say this, I've been very, very surprised, man, because they started getting more growth in 2007 to 2010, and then I thought they were very not on par with WWE, but on par with like what AEW is, at some point. And I think with a little bit of help of WWE, it's definitely put them up there. Definitely on par with NXT as well. But on the whole notion of, we're going to talk about two things here. What I want to talk about is, let's talk about the media rights first. I don't feel comfortable with having TNA going up against AEW, only because we don't need it. It's not needed. We kind of know who the number 2 company is slowly becoming, and if WWE does purchase TNA, it will for sure make them the number 2 wrestling company, for sure. But for now, we just have so much wrestling. I like it being spread out throughout the week. I love having the option for, if I want to go watch TNA on Thursdays. And if TNA does get purchased by WWE, I will be tuning in. And I want that to be on Thursday. I don't want to have to... I know competition is great for business, but I don't need it. I don't think either show needs it. What do you think about these media rights and them maybe challenging AEW on Wednesday nights, Carlos?
If they're gonna challenge AEW on Wednesday nights, you can't do it with TNA. Mm-hmm. And I'm not looking at their pay-per-view buys or anything like that. I'm gonna tell you when they come locally.
Right.
And when they've come locally to Chicago, the recent venue they use is a place in Cicero, right outside of Chicago. It's called Cicero Stadium. If you're saying, not saying like you in particular, but media outlets and things like that are saying that TNA's penciled in as the number 2, the capacity that the Cicero Stadium venue holds is 1,800. That was for pay-per-view.
Right.
Wayne.
Wow.
You're saying the Crown number 2 nationwide wrestling company can only, and they barely filled that, from what I remember, because I checked tickets. I was like, do I really want to go to this? And eventually I didn't go, but I was like, they still had tickets the day of for an 1,800 seat venue, or reportedly the number 2. Whereas AEW, which I do question why they had it at the Aragon Ballroom, is primarily a music venue, but the capacity for that is around maybe 4,000, 5,000 people.
Okay.
That they could fit into that, and it's just like, it's like a regular, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a concert venue type of thing. It's just like a stage and one long auditorium with balcony seating.
Okay.
So, however they did the layout, I have to look back on it, but I think they got up to like 3,000 people. And this is for a weekly show, not a pay-per-view like TNA's that they were trying to do at the Central Stadium. This is like their Dynamite, their Collision, and they did like for 3 weeks this setup, and they sold out.
Well, the numbers don't lie, man. I mean,
to me, TNA has been on a decline for a very long time, and for a while before AEW even showed up, there was no competition for WWE, and that's why for a while, and I know I've talked to you guys, Dre and Doyle, over this, there was like a lull where we were watching wrestling, but what has happened recently to Doyle, from if you've been in the Discord, is usually he falls asleep during Raw. Once in a while, and I'm sure that happened to one of a couple of times to us, where we're like, you know what, we'll just catch it tomorrow, because there is no fear of missing out anything right now, or during that time that I'm referring to. So if TNA was really the number 2 company, they would really be threatening WWE at the time, and they haven't been doing that in a long time.
No,
I think maybe in the beginning when they peaked, like when they first started, from like, I think maybe I could say from 2002 to like 2005, 2006 is when they had their chance. But it's been all downhill. And for them to be, now they have that option to get bought out, I'm pretty sure this is like sacrificing a pawn. Yeah. Like in chess, where you strategically place it, where like, you know what, they could try to go ahead and put NXT to compete with AEW, since that's how they really consider like people's in the offices. Even Hunter keeps saying that they don't consider AEW competition. So why would you put one of your tentpole shows out there like NXT? They're like, you know what, we're just gonna let's just have TNA go out there and do our dirty work for us. Right. And if they do it, then good. And if they don't, they'll end up flopping, and we'll just end up buying them for cheaper. Because they're going to have to either file for bankruptcy, or, they'll just be so depleted funds-wise. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's going to end up happening. Now, it's just like, just go out there, but we need bigger budget. No, you can do it, whatever. And then see if they can make a Star Wars movie out of whatever they can. But I don't think it's going to end up like not succeeding at all.
Right. Well, there was a time, like, what year do I want to say? Maybe like in the mid-90s, that ECW used to do work with WWE for a little bit. They would have a little bit of Invasion crossovers. They had in 97, they had an Invasion crossover. It's just, eventually what happened is they end up buying out that company. They kept a relationship with them, and they kind of used, I feel like they also at the time used ECW to kind of poke and prod at WCW. I guess now we can get into the aspect of if WWE does buy TNA.
They're going to buy it, but it's going to be pennies.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And you know what though? Like, this has been a long time coming. I feel like I've always like, oh, like, you know, one day WWE's gonna buy TNA. Just they're gonna absorb them like WCW and ECW. Like, but you know what's critical here is how we go about this when we get these. I don't know. Think of it as like, you know, you're getting your brother's toys. You know, like, you know, your brother has a bunch of wrestlers, and now he doesn't want them no more, and now you're getting all his toys. So, but some of them are familiar toys because you used to have them, but now some of them are some new toys that you never got to play with. But how do we do this the right way? Now, I believed at one point when WWE bought WCW that maybe they should have tried to keep WCW, the name, alive as a separate show. This is before we had the Raw and SmackDown rosters, and they were two completely different shows. It felt like I think keeping WCW maybe on a different day, keeping that afloat would have done well. Keeping that roster separate still. They could do that with TNA. Is, you know, they're going to keep TNA completely separate as a completely different roster as well. Why not? You know, I'd rather see that than it get absorbed and dispersed into the WWE umbrella. Because to be honest, I mean, our rosters are overwhelmed now already. You know, WWE just bought AAA. So it's like the almighty, you know, Thanos, you know, collecting all the Infinity Stones. They're going to try to get, basically, they could essentially get WWE on every day of the week if they wanted to. Or
just under different names, like NXT,
names. Exactly.
Triple A,
yeah,
TNA.
Yeah. I recall there being a rumor about maybe an NXT Japan or an NXT Mexico, and you know, maybe that's what the AAA is. It just doesn't have a, I don't know. Maybe they'll keep it just AAA, just separate. Either way.
No, yeah, I think that's what's gonna end up happening. It's and you could see it. Like if you watched Triple Mania yesterday, or whenever you're listening to, on August the 16th, you could see the difference. If you watch Triple Mania from like before this, the production value was very low rent. The announcers, they're okay. I still listen to it in Spanish. I didn't listen to the JBL and Corey Graves thing just because that's how I'm used to watching it.
Right.
But they seemed a little bit more crisper, and as far as the Spanish announcing goes, the presentations were better. So you could see the influence that WWE has on the AAA federation.
Yeah.
So you could see that it's like you mentioned. This was probably they probably pivoted now that they purchased, like NXT UK folded. You can only, you know, that's probably something they learned, that we can't have another brand overseas, like making it on our own when there's still like major little indie promotions there. You know, I can't name them, but I know like England, and London, and all those, that they have the little indie ones. Like Soraya's parents, I think, still have their promotion still going. So
right.
If you have those that are already ingrained in like fans, they're never gonna go away. So it's kind of pointless for you to go. But if you already have something established, like a AAA or something like that, you have the bone structure already there. You know, the infrastructure is what I meant. So now you can just gut it, kind of like a home remodel. You find what you can keep, what bones are still good, and then build out from there, because you already have the fan base. And as long as you keep like the talent that they like to watch, which we got to see it, some of it. Like I'm halfway through it, I didn't get to finish it, but they had the Scarlet Pumpernickel, Pimpinella Escarlata, Nino Hamburguesa, the Hamburger Kid. You know, they had El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. There's basically Dr. Wagner Jr. the third, or Dr. Wagner the third type of thing. But they, you know, Cibernetico, Mesais, and they still have Psycho Clown. They have Mr. Iguana. You know, they're keeping people that the talent that people have been watching and rooting for over the years, and now they're like infusing WWE talent there, because essentially that's, I think that's where it's gonna go. Where it's, they're gonna see, well, we'll see what you can do here. They'll set up like a good framework, have some good workers there that can put over their talent, so they can pretty much have a measuring stick, kind of like the baseball, where you're like, okay, well, you finished going through single A, let's see, bump you up and let's go through double A and see how you do there.
Right,
So,
and it's working.
It's gonna be one of those many stepping stones.
Right. You know, I've been catching clips of Triple Mania, highlight reels and stuff, and like, I'm intrigued because I what really helps is the infusion of some WWE wrestlers going over there, and I'm like, oh, I know who Natalya is. I know Dominic Mysterio. I know Dragon Lee, which, by the way, Dragon Lee had a great entrance. Definitely not the type he gets in WWE. El Grande Americano, you know, some Judgment Day members, Omos, Otis. Like, Otis has been gone for a minute. He showed up there. Like, I like the, you know, I know these guys, like, feeling. Like, it made me feel like, oh, okay, like, I'm comfortable. And, like, I know some people here. It's like, I don't know, if you go to a new place that you've never worked before, you know, and you're like, I don't know anybody here. It's my first day. But then you see some, like, people you worked with before. You're like, oh, I know this guy. Fucking Otis. He's fucking hilarious. Like, oh, God, Omos, where have you been? Oh, I've been here. Oh, dude, I know this guy. But it's, if you have that feeling as well with TNA, bringing it back to TNA, a lot of guys who left WWE, who either got let go or left on their own accord, go to TNA, and now that's where they're at. And I know former WWE wrestler Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, was saying how he does not like the idea if WWE would buy TNA, because he went to, you know, TNA to get away from WWE, and I totally get that as an employee point of view. Like, you're happy, you're kind of, you feel like you get more creative, or maybe better work schedule or better pay, whatever, in TNA, and you're happy, and you're so glad to get out from that WWE corporate umbrella. And now you wake up the next morning, you read headlines that, you know, your former boss or former company is looking to buy your new one that you're working at. It's like, shit. You know, but, I mean, there's a lot of pluses, a lot of pros for us. I mean, think of the library that they're going to achieve and, you know, get, that they can use. It'd be cool to show before some of these TNA guys that are in WWE retire. It'd be cool to see some highlights from their TNA career, or maybe some acknowledgments of those titles. You know, like AJ Styles, you know, acknowledge how many titles he's held in TNA. Like, he's a former so-and-so heavyweight TNA champion multiple time. You know, I think that'd be really cool. It's like, oh God, like, dude, this guy did work here. Like, CM Punk did work in TNA. You know, bring up that even. You know, also, how bad or how nice would it be to stick it to Tony Khan if they do have TNA on Wednesdays and have, you know, former AEW guys showing up on TNA. You know, how would he feel if CM Punk showed up on TNA one night? You know, going back to his old stomping grounds, or having, you know, I don't know. I think that'd be funny, having maybe Cody Rhodes show up on Wednesday night, AEW, you know, against AEW Dynamite. He shows up at TNA to go maybe tag with Joe Hendry. You know, we got the Hardy Boys over there. We got the Dudley Boys over there. I'm trying to think.
for just one, because we don't know the extent of how many bumps Devon can take.
Yeah, dude, I'm very shocked that that man is even agreeing to this. I'm trying to think. Oh, right now we also have. I'm looking at their current roster. JC Jane, one of our NXT wrestlers, now holds both women's titles from both shows. You know.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to get to because, all right, so we have NXT.
Right.
We have JC Jane is their women's champion, and we have I keep forgetting his name. One who was with Carmelo Hayes.
Trick Williams.
Trick Williams. Trick Williams is the men's, right?
Yes.
The men's heavyweight champion. So if NXT is their developmental, in my eyes, this pretty much like brings down the level of their title. If they're considered quote unquote the number 2, you can't have another person's developmental talent be the face of your women's division and the face of your men's division.
Right.
So this is, in my eyes, this is like just a way of them bringing down the value of TNA. And you can make the argument that TNA is going to benefit from this, get the rub from having Trick Williams and Jason Jane as their champions, and like the cross promotion partnership that they've had is working for TNA. But in my eyes, it's just degrading that promotion a little bit more, and it's just going to make it easier for them to buy it by 2027.
Mm-hmm. There's,
like you mentioned, they WWE is going to have like a stranglehold on it when it comes to like a library, because they have the old Georgia Championship Wrestling, NWA to a certain point, because I think Billy Corgan, now that he owns NWA, he's held on to some of it, but it's been going like this year, and this year I think only belongs to the WWE. I don't have the specifics on it, but I know there's like bits and pieces of it. They don't have like the whole library of NWA, but they got parts of it. You have the WCW one now, and then as well. And if they get a hold of the TNA one, the only one the only major promotion, besides the ECW, sorry, you add that on there as well. The only promotion they don't have would be the rest of the NWA one and the Ring of Honor one, which thankfully Tony Khan was smart enough to buy when they started up as AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have been a massive library for WWE to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a lot to acquire. And you're right, though. Like, to have TNA have the feeling that it's on the same par as NXT, it sucks. But that's just how it's going to probably end up being. They're not going to put them on par with... There was a time when it felt like NXT was slowly becoming taken more seriously. When they were involved in Survivor Series, it felt like NXT.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the third brand, and it felt great.
There were times, yeah.
It felt like a legit threat.
I mean, most of that roster, we wanted it to come up.
Yeah.
Before, because that's how fed up we were with what Vince was giving us, the mid to late teens.
Right.
We were like having to watch Brock Lesnar give suplex cities to everybody for like 5 minutes, and then he would just give them an F5, and that'd be like a 7-minute match, and it's over.
Uh-huh.
And that was your main event of WrestleMania.
Think though, wouldn't it be cool if we got the invasion angle done correctly? I'm not saying you need to invade the main roster, but to have them truly invade NXT, I know we have TNA wrestlers show up on NXT and vice versa, but like to have like a true invasion of TNA wrestlers showing up on NXT, wrecking shop. If you ever wanted to go the distance and write it well, you could probably do it with the main roster, but I don't think you need to involve the main roster. You want to take NXT seriously, then have them defend the WWE name and to handle TNA wrestlers on their own. Just going through the roster, I counted at least 25 former WWE wrestlers. So that's 25 familiar faces that would show up. These wrestlers get jumped, and you're like, oh my god, like, I don't know these two other guys, but I know, like, these three other guys that are with him, though, and, like, oh, they're all from TNA, holy shit, like, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how they handle TNA once it's in their hands, what they do with that new set of toys. There's new wrestlers, there's new storylines that they can do, new titles, new show, new everything. It's just a lot to absorb into a wrestling company. Like I said, I think the best thing to do is just leave it be. I don't think you need to go up against AEW. Just keep it as separate entity. I think the roster that they have is probably happy with working with each other, and they probably want to continue working with each other. So maybe it's not best to separate them. But I kind of knew this would happen one day. It was inevitable. But once Triple H started doing more relationships, we started seeing more and more work with them, TNA, and I was like, ooh, we're closing in on something big happening. I was like, the seeds are being planted. And that's how I felt, man. Like, the seeds were totally being planted. And, fast forward a couple months, we had Jordan Grace at the Royal Rumble. We had the TNA champion show up at WrestleMania. We had the NXT take the TNA title over to their show and keep it there. We've had the women win both world women's titles. Like, we're in just in a few months, we've had something that was unheard of in WWE. Vince would never let this shit happen, never in a million years. But it's just happening so fast, and now it's like we're getting all this talk about it possibly being up for sale, and WWE like for sure gets first say. And I think it'd be just silly for them to pass on it. But at the end of the day, dude, I'm very curious with numbers. Like, how much are you guys gonna buy them for? Like, how much are they asking? How much are they worth? And how much are we actually gonna get? I want to know numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah. He cut out there for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I see what your point is and where you're coming from and things like that. I do like that invasion angle.
Yeah.
But once again, if we're considering that TNA is, or the WWE wants us to consider that TNA is number 2 nationwide wrestling promotion,
right?
You can't have the invasion angle happen on the development of what's considered a development. So either they need to stop calling NXT a developmental, and maybe you can merge eventually, like say this invasion happens, right. That's where they're going. Merge NXT TNA into the third brand. It's no longer developmental. Then you can probably run into having a better invasion angle. But you can't have that. I think in my head, you can't have TNA and NXT have that. Maybe for that NXT storyline, but that can't be the end. It has to progress even further, like you mentioned. Like, if you see that, and you can't make SmackDown or Raw one, it has to be in steps. And behind the scenes, you're basically going to have to end up merging NXT into TNA if you wanted to have that storyline, I think, in my head for it to work.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I'm fascinated by these next few months.
It's gonna be interesting.
Just the wrestling landscape is changing so much with now being so many other wrestling companies, with WWE doing business with TNA, them purchasing AAA recently. We discussed them going to ESPN next year. You know, the Peacock deal is over. Just today, actually, I was cleaning out my Xbox and I had deleted the WWE app, which I still had on there. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I still have this app on here. You know, I miss the app so much, man. $9.99 and it had everything on it.
Should have probably kept it on there.
You think so?
And there's some you probably could have sold it on eBay. Like, hey, I still have the WWE app on this.
Yeah.
And see, I doubt it works. But I know there's some Wiis that sell that still, like, if you could get Netflix to work on the Wii, those sell pretty for a good penny.
Oh, wow. Actually, I think I do have Netflix on my Nintendo Wii. That's awesome. But, yeah, man, that's all I got right now for the TNA news. Really, we're not getting a lot of information yet. It's just, this is just what's hit the news, and I just tell you everything that I've read and everything I found out. I don't think I missed anything from this TNA deal. We talked about the media rights, where that's going, and we talked about the company being sold as a whole. So, you know, for the benefit,
them having first refusals, it's very interesting. Like,
yeah, dude.
And I didn't know about that clause of first refusal, because I was like, Tony Khan and his dad have the money. I mean, like, they own English Premier Soccer team overseas. You know, they're not like the best, but just owning those is already like $1 billion. It's worth more than or if not as an NFL team, just maybe just as a little bit more, because it's an English Premier team. And then, you know, they own the Jaguars, so you know, like I mentioned, like the NFL is considered, you know, one of those things that is the cream of the crop in the United States as high as it goes. I know the Portland Trailblazers just recently sold for $4 billion, but a decent NFL team, maybe not like something similar to like what sold recently. I don't remember what team sold recently, but there's, I think, was it the Saints or somebody, when they sold, it was sold for like either $3 billion or somewhere around that time when they sold, and that was just like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So imagine now how much they would sell for. So you know, they have that they could always get into. I think Tony Khan's father is like worth $18 billion. Whatever assets he has on his own. So it's not like pushing over ECW when they're on the brink of bankruptcy every week.
Yeah, it says the company's maybe worth $15.3 billion. Operating number period has reported revenue. I don't know. Yeah, this is wow. Because if that's 15 something, that's not a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I think it's WWE's not going to have an issue being able to afford it.
Oh no. It's just they'll get to TNA. It's just a matter of if and when it happens. Because with them having first refusal, you know, if they want to sell it to that guy that formerly earned Lorenzo Fertitta.
Yeah.
Fertitta. So, you know, that'll be just like hiring your best friend. It's like if you owned TKO Sports and Dre owned TNA, and you know, or Dre wanted to buy TNA, and you had like, I wanted to buy TNA, but you know, like, you know what, I'm gonna give it to Dre because he's my co-host and my best friend. So, oh wait, no.
Yeah. You never know. I gotcha. Deciding on the thumbnail I want to use for this episode. I'm always trying to make interesting thumbnails for the episodes. I found one. I already found one.
Oh, you found one? Okay.
I found one already.
All right. I was gonna say maybe like, you have the Dudley Boys and they're like the TNA logo of someone being 3D through a table or something like that.
A Slim Jim table. Oh man, could you imagine like TNA would need like Slim Jim tables and stuff then? They would need all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's just more money that Slim Jim's like, yes.
God damn, Slim Jim's gotten so much money from professional wrestling. It's ridiculous. I think next episode we're going to do Clash at the Castle predictions, I guess. Yeah.
Clash in Paris.
Clash in Paris? Oh yeah, that's right. Clash in Paris.
No castle in Paris.
Yeah. We're bad at this. All right, yeah. Do you got anything you want to plug? I saw you guys did an episode of WWE Unreal. I watched.
Thank you for watching. But yes, we did recently do an episode of WWE Unreal, trying to figure out who the show was made for. Was it made for hardcore fans like us, Wayne, Dre, Doyle, smart marks that try to fantasy book or try to predict where storylines go? Or was it made for more of a fan like my wife, who's recently been joining me and discussing WrestleMania events of the past as normally our podcast does? So it was interesting to go through that and see her views and what worked for her, what didn't work for her, and what she was a fan of.
Yeah, I watched all the episodes and I'm kind of like psyched for next season. It was kind of nice seeing behind the curtain a little bit, even though a lot of stuff was kind of predictable, but a lot of stuff was fairly new to me. So I'm definitely down to see it again. Yeah, I mean that's all.
I'm interested to see how they started pivoting, or when they thought that they should start pivoting away from heel Cena and go, towards the SummerSlam result that we got. Because this season ended with, the WrestleMania leg. So now we had to see the other continuation of the leg from SummerSlam, maybe onto Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so if you haven't, go to Revisiting The Mania on YouTube and check it out, because I did, and it was a good episode. So, yeah, that's all I got, man. Nice short episode. Let's get the hell out of here.
You fucking mark!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to this little promo. I have to give one. You know what it's going to be about. Yeah, just sit here and listen. You made it this far into the show. What we're going to talk about is something very important. It's social media. Why aren't you part of the Twitter page, the Instagram page, our Facebook page? Join. Share. And you know what? You get in there, we'll send you a link to the Discord. What's the Discord? It's where you can talk to us all day about wrestling. Not just that. How about you go to our website, podcastchampionshipwrestling1podium.com, where you can leave a review. Not just a review, you can write into the show. You got a question? We'll answer it. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, no, it doesn't. We offer so much more. Do you want to be on the show? Do you want to shoot the shit with Dre, Doyle, and myself? Be a guest. I'll give you your own theme music. Yes, I will. But it doesn't stop there, guys. You gotta go to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy a PCW shirt. Oh, we don't have one. We don't have two. By God, we don't have three. But we do have four. 4 new t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. So what the hell are you doing? You made it this far. Are you a fan or what? Are you a fucking mark? Tell him.
You fucking mark!
Time's running out.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch!
The fact that day in and day out, for almost 6 years, I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next! Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass. Well, let me tell you something, brother. New day!
Cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome.
Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.